Disclaimer: do not send any type of harassment or negativity towards the creators that I review. This includes hateful comments, mass paying the creators, dislike spamming, and toxic videos about them. This video is for edutainment purposes, and even then, what I say could be wrong, so please take my videos with a grain of salt. Enjoy! We're in this segment of the video.
A family was out on their boat in Alabama doing some deep-sea fishing when they were almost killed by a spotted eagle ray that jumped onto their vessel. It happened in July of 2022 when April Jones and her family were out fishing near Dauphin Island. Everything was going fine, and then
I haven't seen Origins Explain make this type of animation before. For a channel with over 3 million subscribers, they should have a higher budget than this. Whatever this is, man. Not very good. Right now, not very good impression. But let's continue.
Then, from out of nowhere, the gigantic ray hefted itself out of the water and landed in their boat. As it flew through the air, it hit April so hard on the right side of her body that she sprained her shoulder. She fell over, everyone in the boat was screaming, and the enormous ray was flopping around on the floor. Thankfully, nobody suffered a serious injury other than April's shoulder.
Wow. Laughing at the poor woman. Oh my god. Why are you laughing at that poor woman? Oh my goodness. This is just... It's probably fake, but
it was a close call. The family estimated the eagle ray was at least 400 pounds and about 10 feet wide. It also came complete with a venomous barbed stinger at the base of its tail. The venom is so potent it can kill a person, and its tail can reach over 16 feet long. It acts like a whip and can sting people even after it's been pulled out of the water.
Okay. I, for myself, I have 13,000 subscribers. I should probably consider to begin, trying to go for higher quality videos, but I can't right now because of all of those exams that are coming. So,
Gila monster. In 2022, a man from Tucson posted a video online showing him removing a gigantic orange lizard from his garage. This was no ordinary lizard, but one of the most dangerous monsters in all of Arizona. It's the Gila monster, and the Tucson resident had to move it out of his garage using a trash can, like how you trap a spider on the kitchen counter with a drinking glass. According to the Phoenix Herpetological Sanctuary, the Gila monster is one of only 2 venomous lizards in North America. The other one is the Mexican beaded lizard, which makes Gila the only venomous lizard native to the United States. It has one of the most painful bites in the world. If the man had gotten bit in the garage, it definitely would have ruined his life for a few days.
wow.
Definitely would have ruined his life for a few days.
Why doesn't the dude just go for the hospital? Or is the dude too far away from services to actually call for a hospital? Okay.
Gila monsters have teeth with small grooves that help the venom flow right into the bloodstream. They hold on for dear life and might even chew a bit so the venom goes in deeper. It's hard to make them let go. The bite wouldn't cause necrosis like with a rattlesnake bite, but there would be major tissue damage and the victim would be in pain for days. While it may hurt like heck, luckily its venom has never actually killed anyone. At least there are no recorded deaths. And there isn't even any anti-venom available because it's such a rare thing for someone to get bitten. Gila monsters also live underground for about 90% of their life, so they very rarely encounter people. The problem is that some people have them as pets and then let them out into the wild.
Yeah, it's going to be fairly dangerous. Okay, impaled by catfish. This next one, venomous snakes of North Wales, lionfish. Can we even call this a paleontology video at this point? I have no idea. Should I just scrap paleo bingo? I have no idea.
Impaled by catfish. Another extremely dangerous fish with a surprising level of toxicity is the catfish. In summer of 2022, a child was impaled in the chest by a catfish.
Okay, with this form of impaling, how is this child still alive? How is this child still alive after this level of impaling from this crazy catfish that is just wiggling and causing even more damage?
I didn't even know that could happen. He was on a family camping trip on a boat out in the Gulf Coast near Tampa. According to the local authorities, the child took the catfish barbs straight to the chest, and the family immediately called for help. What followed was a harrowing journey back to shore, into the car, and speeding down the highway to the nearest hospital. But before they got to the hospital, the child's mother pulled over on the side of the road and called 911 because her kid looked like he was about to stop breathing. The child ended up being rescued by a helicopter and taken to St. John's Hospital in Tampa. Doctors were worried because they didn't know what kind of cat.
How is this woman keeping such a casual tone? It was such a dark event. Oh my god.
Fish had stabbed him, and at least 1,200 different species are venomous. Researchers from the University of Michigan have shown how the poison glands on the fins of the catfish are extremely toxic. The venom can destroy nerves, break apart red blood cells, and cause respiratory distress. This is why the child was having such a difficult time breathing. Even beyond the initial venom, the actual location of the wound can become infected, and that infection can carry straight into the blood. Unfortunately, there have been no reports regarding the condition of the child, but seeing as he was never declared dead, we can hopefully assume he made it out okay. Venomous snakes of North Wales.
I think he made it out okay, because if somebody's usually declared dead from a crazy event, I think there would be a news article about it. Pronounced dead at...
In spring of 2022, dog walkers in North Wales were warned to be on the lookout for adders. The warning came after a small Springer Spaniel had to undergo surgery following a nearly deadly encounter. According to what the owner of the dog said, their dog Willow was bitten as they walked along a peaceful path as usual. The snake lashed out so quickly, there was nothing anyone could do to stop it, and they had to make an emergency trip to the vet to get immediate treatment. If they had waited, Willow wouldn't have made it. The adder is the only
Okay, they actually saved their pet.
native venomous snake found in the United Kingdom. Also known as the common European viper, it only bites if disturbed, which is why it typically attacks dogs. The dogs sniff the adder, not realizing it's venomous, and then get a bite on the nose. Human deaths are incredibly rare, but the venom is enough that someone with underlying health issues might die if not given immediate medical attention.
Oh. With the showing of a dead body. It could be age restricted, but I don't know. This is not age restricted. I don't think so anyway. Because of appropriate covering of the body and blurring of the body.
The lionfish. Fabiano Ramazio from South Carolina frequently encounters some of the deadliest fish in the ocean while diving off the coast of Somerville. He typically goes down to around 100 feet deep, where lionfish can be found lurking all over the reefs on the ocean floor. The lionfish is slow. It takes its time as it wanders about, and it's easy to differentiate from the other fish. There is no mistaking the lionfish for anything else. It has stripes like a zebra, large fins that make it look like it has a lion's mane, and of course, venomous spikes sticking out of its head. The lionfish is so prevalent in South Carolina that on a single dive, Fabiano once saw over 100 of them in the same place. But the lionfish does not belong in American waters. These huge and venomous monsters, which can grow nearly 2 feet long, were only introduced to the Atlantic a few decades ago.
Cool, so cool. Just more random facts, just more fact yapping that I have to sit through and whatnot. Okay.
According
Okay. I don't want y'all to sit through this insane amount of fact yapping. So we're probably just gonna skip until we get to Titanoboa. Okay, there we go. There we go.
At risk.
Boom.
Titanoboa. The Titanoboa was the most terrifying serpent that ever lived on the planet. It was a truly huge creature, upwards of 42 feet long, and would most certainly traumatize anyone with a fear of snakes. Try to imagine a boa constrictor that was so big, its body could barely fit through a doorway. The Titanoboa was such a gigantic snake, it could have wrapped itself around your car and squeezed it like a flimsy soda can.
Okay. Whatever. More fact yapping. This is just more fact yapping, so I can't really say I'm surprised.
What's even more terrifying is that we don't know for sure how big the Titanoboa could have been. Only a few of its vertebrae have been found in northeastern Colombia, so we really don't know its exact range.
More text just popping out.
It could have been a maximum of 42 feet long, or maybe it grew even bigger to 47 feet long. It won't be.
Who was editing this? Is it Katrina herself, or is it other people working with Katrina, or just explain as a company?
Clear until scientists find more fossils. One thing we do know is that the Titanoboa was almost certainly an apex predator, one which rose to prominence after the extinction of the dinosaurs. Just a few million years after the dinosaurs were wiped out, the Titanoboa took its place as the king of the South American jungle. It lived roughly between 58 and 60 million years ago during the Paleocene epoch, but it's not clear when it went extinct. When it came to food, the snake most likely ate mostly fish. The Titanoboa lived in the rivers and lakes of South America, preferring water to land. Considering it weighed upwards of 2,500 pounds, slithering through the trees was a lot tougher than sailing through the water. In truth, the Titanoboa was more of a river monster than anything else. The chubby lizard.
Okay, Titanoboa. This has more fact yapping, but whatever. There's really nothing much to say about it. Chubby lizard.
A small head. Than anything else. The chubby lizard.
Hold on, what is the chubby lizard? Oh. Why are there a whole bunch of Chinese articles? This is eat greedily and then just shit.
Long before dinosaurs were on the scene, there was
Of course there is a T-Rex. More bingo.
a strange ancestor to mammals that scientists are now calling the chubby lizard. This was an amphibious creature that had a very small head, a robust body, and lived a lifestyle not dissimilar to that of a modern-day hippo. It looked like an overweight lizard, truly bizarre creature. The feathered T-Rex. The Eutyrannus walleye was an
Eutyrannus. Okay.
earlier version of the Tyrannosaurus rex, one that was completely covered in bird feathers. According to National Geographic, the Eutyrannus was the biggest feathered animal that ever walked the earth.
Biggest animal that is covered in a whole lot of feathers. Okay, there was also Albertosaurus, though. That's the thing.
Its name is a mix of Mandarin and Latin, which translates to beautiful feathered tyrant. The first fossil of the
It's just feathered tyrant.
Eutyrannus was discovered by the Chinese paleontologist Xing Shu in the year 2012. You may not know his name, but he's one of the most famous dinosaur hunters in the world. He's discovered over 30 species, including the winged Microraptor and the Dilong and Gunlong. These last two were early tyrannosaurs covered in a soft layer of fuzz, almost like a beaver's pelt, but they were only about the size of small dogs. In comparison, the Eutyrannus was a behemoth. It weighed over 3,000 pounds and stood at a bare minimum of roughly 21 feet. That's 40.
Stood at a rough minimum of 21 feet. Oh, God. Do you mean that for the length of the Eutyrannus? Because I feel like it's the length and not the actual height of the Eutyrannus. If it were a height of 21 feet, it was just...
times bigger than the next largest feathered dinosaur, the Bapiosaurus. The Utaranus was also covered from head to toes in feathers, most of which were about 6 inches long. Interestingly, the feathers had no use as tools for flying. This was before modern birds took flight, when feathers were used for insulation and mating rituals. The feathers on the Utaranus would have been similar to those on modern emus and cassowaries. However, just because this dinosaur was covered in pretty feathers did not mean it was harmless like a giant chicken. It was a major predator with huge hips, small forearms like the T-Rex, and teeth that were as big as bananas. It was so powerful that it could crush the skulls of its enemies with one swift chomp from its strong jaw. The giant centipede.
Okay.
Strong jaw.
Okay. That's pretty much all there is. There's a bunch more facts here.
Just because this dinosaur was covered in pretty feathers did not mean it was harmless like a giant chicken. It was a
Man, just another one of those carnivore treatments of these animals are monsters. Scary, very scary indeed. This is just getting old fast. Anyways, that's the end of part 2. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoy it.